So, welcome to the latest video. It's another interview. This isn't a podcast. This isn't actually saying that. I've ruined it because there's an interview with Mitch about what it's like to manage a game store coming out, but it's not out yet. So I say another interview that'll be coming out in a while. But yeah, stay tuned for that one. I'm joined by the captain of Team Templar, Mr. Rocco.
I'm Poster Boy.
Yeah, Poster Boy, as labelled by Todd Doe.
Yeah.
Forever now known as Poster Boy.
Don't know why, but yeah, sure.
I feel the oi oi kind of made it stick, you know. If it hadn't been for that, it wouldn't have started.
Sure.
But yeah, Rocco has returned recently from, I think it's called LEC, right?
Yeah.
LEC Athens. Yeah. Legacy European. Oh, that's it. Legacy European Championship. Yeah. Obviously, you qualified at Skyward Fire, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Bested Michael 2-0 in the finals of a modern RCQ. There was actually a really interesting RCQ. There were a lot of the main one was the Amulet player was playing a pretty spicy Amulet version for that one, which I think you had to beat in the semis.
Yeah, I had to beat Will. Then Will was also an Amulet Titan in the quarters. Then I had to beat her on Amulet in the semis.
But yeah, you got the qualification playing Omnath, Elementals, kind of went back to the old school. Yeah. And then you took Karuga Fires to Athens. Yeah. So to kind of get all the stats out of the way, Rocco came 75th in the end. I think there were about 500 odd players, and it was obviously LEC Athens. Just missed out on the Pro Tour, not to rub it in. I think if you'd won the last round, did you have a shot?
So if I won the last round, I would have come, by my calculations, I would have come 48th, which would have pushed me into the money bracket. Yeah. So I could basically cash out.
But Pro Tour was top 36?
Top 36, but there were, I believe, 9 people that have already queued for the Pro Tour, so they were going to be, or in the top 36, so they were going to be pushed back to place number 43.
Yeah.
So it was hard to tell who was actually going to go or not. So.
I mean, it was a really good run. It was super close. So you went 6-3 day 1, 3-3 day 2. Yeah. Day 1, obviously, the cutoff is 6-3 to go to day 2. Yeah. And you were 5-3, so it was the win to get there.
It was 5-3, yeah.
But if I remember correctly, I think you lost round 1, lost round 3.
Yes.
And then lost round 5.
Yeah.
So it was it was like a 2-3 into a 6-3, I think. You went on a big... Yeah. Oh no, maybe it wasn't that much of a run.
I won. So I lost round 1, won round 2, lost round 3, proceeded to win round 4, 5, 6. I think I lost round 7. And then I had to win in for round 8.
And it was very unfortunate as well on the day 2. I think you were 3-1, weren't you?
Yes. Yeah.
3-1. Yeah. Winning in game, unfortunately came up against fellow UK. Your player every axiom, Ben. No, was it Ben Jones?
Yeah, it was Ben Jones.
It was Ben Jones. Who obviously is an absolute powerhouse as it was.
Yeah, I didn't. Looking back on it, I didn't make any mistakes that I was kicking myself over. He just played very well, how I expected everyone to play well, and. Yeah, I'm not disappointed with how I did, especially coming up against him. I just know that we both knew when we sat down at the table that whoever won this match could ID the next round and immediately get to top 36. Yeah. That was my winning in bracket to get in.
It's sometimes the way it goes, though, right?
Yeah. This is my first time doing it.
I was about to say, this is your first regional championship. Despite Rocco looking mid-30s, he is actually early 20s. So this is kind of you've played Magic for a while, but traveling and stuff when you're 16, 17, when you're playing is a bit more of a tall ask.
Yeah, it's pretty hard, to be fair. But I'm glad I got the opportunity to actually go and prove my mettle and my worth.
How did you find it compared to...
it was a lot harder because every single round you sit down in front of someone who is the best in their area or best in the country. Or I played against 3 people who went to Worlds, were on the Worlds team, and And it didn't really sort of like click onto that, but half of me was just like, I've got to sit down, play the game, don't worry about who they are, just, you know.
I mean, Ben Jones himself, I think he came top 4 in I can't remember what tournament it was, but it was a massive tournament recently.
He actually lost his win in for Worlds, because he lost in the semis of the last LEC. So
it is the way it goes though, sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, so to kind of ask a bit of a loaded question, based on your attendance at this event and this being your first regional championship, which locals store have you found has the highest level RCQ players? You can include Axion in that. Obviously, Axion's a bit of a loaded one because it's so big.
Axion's like the obvious one.
Yeah.
Because it attracts more people from further reaches of the country.
Have any been more challenging than others? Because I know we've been to a few, like London, locally here.
I would say, personally, I think Ipswich is pretty good. Like Langdon Games is quite competitive. They've got a good, nice competitive, like all-round competitive scene.
I think because of where it is, you get some of the players from London. You get a lot of the South Norfolk players.
There's like, we went to the Movie Shack in London, and
that was a stacked field, actually.
It was stacked, but I felt like I wasn't really, I'd already qualified for the thing, so I was trying to push James into getting it, and I sort of didn't expect a top 8. I was just there to push James into top 8, and luckily we got paired against each other in top 8, so I just instantly conceded to him. But yeah, it was it had like a few good players in, but it wasn't like completely stacked. Whereas Ipswich, I feel like there's a good amount of players all round that you can sort of say, okay, these guys are pretty good. I think like Zach, Jacob, who also went to Athens, are very good.
To be fair, no disrespect, I guess, to the local players of Movie Shack, but they were definitely more new to the competitive scene. Whereas Ipswich, the locals are very strong.
Yes.
Which I guess is the same thing here. Like, I can't, context, we're in Athena Games in Norwich. Yeah, believe it or not, we're in a different scenery. We've got like the fridge struggling in this, 27 degrees behind us. But I think it is like, not to kind of harp our own kind of, our ability, but I remember when we did the 64-person Axion RCQ, I think there were, 5 or 6 Athena players in the top 8 of that? Yeah. Not just Templar, but it was, people tend to get into these brackets.
Yeah, I don't want to sort of toot my horn and other people's horns that it's quite easy to top 8 RCQs if you're in the right place and know your deck and play well. I think the hardest top 8 I had to get into was probably I don't know. It probably was here because I had the caliber of Axiom players and other people.
Here was the RCQs. Pretty I think it was season 1, wasn't it? It was a long time ago.
It was season 1, which was in August time, I think, roughly August time.
Yeah, during a heat wave. Yeah, I remember. But there were 30 to 40 players for both events.
Yes.
Yeah. And kind of, half of Team Axiom were here. All the strongest Ipswich players came. All the strongest Norwich players were here. So that was
and Skyward. Yeah.
That was an absolutely stacked field. And I don't know why it was, because where we are is an absolute nightmare to get to for anyone else in the country. So the fact that it attracted those players is kind of, I guess there were less RCQs then, so people had to travel.
Yeah, there definitely was. And the fact that we were holding 2 in one weekend, really,
it was worth the travel.
Yeah, it was worth the travel and worth people staying over the night. And
I can't remember their names; they've escaped me, so apologies. But the guys that travelled up from Brighton kind of area well that we always bump into at every Axiom event. They came for the weekend because it was a double header. So hopefully we can get back to that kind of thing.
Oh, for sure,
and have those, because I know I get why they do it, because they want to space out the events. But this season, Langdon, just as an example, have 3, I think, and a lot of places have 3. I've seen in Scotland that have spaced them out over 2 months. So it's for us, a holiday in Scotland plus 2 RCQs in a weekend, you'd kind of be I'll get a change of scenery, go away with the guys, it'll be a nice time. But to go away for one event is like, well, it's a long way.
It's a big ask.
Yeah. So it's a shame that stores don't stack them Saturday, Sunday, so you can like.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. But I think definitely learning from what I've experienced, that I think everyone's capable of top 8ing. I think everyone's capable of winning an RCQ. It's proven, like me, James, Michael, like obviously superhero.
I think everyone on the team top 8 is.
Yeah, every single member of Team Templar have top 8ers at RCQ.
Yeah.
Regardless if they've been grinding RCQs or just rocking up.
Yeah, I mean, even I top 8'd. I was playing Merfolk. I top 4'd actually.
Yeah.
I'm playing Merfolk.
Yeah,
so
exactly. Yeah.
You can play off meta decks and still do the thing.
No, for sure. And I think we've got to that stage where we know consistently that our players are going to be top 8ing, which is excellent. And also to that point where we're getting like 3 or maybe the whole top 4 are Templar. So we're always sending someone to wherever they are in Europe.
I definitely think everyone is getting better. I think people were already good, right? But I think you can see the consistency there.
Even James, when he's chosen the correct deck to play.
And Michael, too.
Yeah, Michael.
When you put leyline bindings in Zoo, you top 4.
Crazy.
How many people were that? Like 128 person event? That was very unfortunate. Michael lost his winning into David Inglis because it was top 2 players. Obviously, getting top 4 at 128 person event is still ridiculous.
Insane.
It's one of those you always feel,
but that's the thing. Like I've had the amount of moments I've had where I've just been like this close, and it will. I just know in my head that if I just keep practicing, keep doing what I'm doing, I will get there. Like these are all just lessons that I have to just learn and get better. Like it did feel good. Like when I was making day 2 and I was looking around and like people like Mengucci and stuff like that went day 2ing, and I was just thinking like maybe I'm not as bad as I think I am, but like
I think for
stuff like that.
For people like Phil and Jay, it's a bit different because they play Metgo so much that they beat like known players often, and lose as well. Like it's not like they stomp every time, but they've got the experience of playing against these players and winning, so they already kind of know. Like I'm pretty good at
Jay
this,
and Phil's time will definitely come. Like I won't be surprised if they win. One of them will win Ipswich and or Skyward or whatever. Like it won't surprise me at all because it's now just their birthright. Just because the amount of time and effort they put into each round, each game, it's just like insane.
So far we've queued for 2 Lille qualifiers, and we've got 1 seat, which James won. Against Jay actually.
Exactly.
And then obviously Michael lost the win, and then on the other one. So we've come close in, players have come close in both. So hopefully we'll get a couple more seats. And
definitely. I'm personally making it my challenge to qualify with James, so I can go with him.
I'm hoping 3 people qualify because I want to go to Lille to film. I personally hope I don't qualify because I don't really want the slot, because I want to go there to get content, not to like play. I'm a big Magic fan and I am competitive, but I don't have the drive.
I don't know if you can like win it, and then if someone else is in top 8, you can't give it away.
No, you can to the like other finalists, but you can't.
Sure.
Anyone else? But I'd obviously playing would be a good experience. It's just not my cup of tea. And quite frankly, as well, I hate Pioneer. Like I really don't like Pioneer.
I like the whole Athens was lovely. The whole experience was lovely. Playing Pioneer is horrible. Like that format is trash. Like I cannot wait till is it after Lily that they swap over the formats? Yeah. So like October time, it's modern for now.
September.
Or September. Oh.
So it's before Lille, but
And it's gonna like definitely change up the game a lot. It's like half the time in Athens. If I lost the dice roll, I would have lost. I wouldn't have day 2 if I lost half my dice rolls.
I think Pioneer's in a fairly good spot at the moment. I think Modern's in a good spot.
Yeah. It's in a good spot, but the games are polarizing, as in like the dice roll actually matters. Whereas in Modern, dice roll doesn't particularly matter too much. Terribly.
I think it might.
It matters a little bit, but not.
Halfling. I think Halfling might have actually.
Yeah, Halfling's pretty good. Tadu to Fairy.
But to kind of wrap it all up, then, what would you do differently going into the another
what would I do?
championship?
Well, if I've already qualified.
If you'd already qualified and you were going to Lille or wherever the next one may be, what would you do different?
I'd probably research the meta a little bit better, research the deck I'm playing, its iterations of the deck that I'm playing, because I look back on some of the Karuga decks that went, and a lot of them were playing like different stuff in the sideboard. The main board was pretty much exactly the same, maybe 1 or 2 cards different, but I'd probably change how I'm looking at the format and trying to get like a new sort of look at it pretty much. So I'd say practice more, never underestimate my opponents, because everyone that I play against is very good. It's not like an F&M, like they are pro players. Some like I play against 3 people that were on Worlds, it's hard to, and also drink lots of water. I didn't drink enough water as I thought I did.
That's always the big one.
I drank about 3.5 litres. I'm still dehydrated.
It is insane. Yeah, it is insane. And I think obviously it's more difficult if you're going to a foreign country, but just getting like energy bars of any kind as well, because like the chance to eat is not that frequent. So just getting any food down is always good as well.
Yeah, and just like just walking around, like stop sitting down, just like make sure you're moving. Like it's really silly stuff to think about. It's like non-magic stuff to think about, but it's just it will improve how you play.
It's funny because like in esports, like 3-4 years ago, there was that sudden wave where every team was hiring like fitness coaches, because it does have an effect. Like staying active, being mentally healthy as well as physically healthy has a big toll on tournaments.
And I also like to bring a friend.
I honestly like,
but I did enjoy being on my own, to be fair.
Devil's advocate, I actually think people would do worse if there were just 2. Because I think if there's 3 or 4 or 5 people going to an event like Axion, you kind of get that decompression of chatting. But say it's going badly and there's only 2 of you, that's very easy to get in a mental hole of kind of, oh man, we've both lost. You know what I mean? Or equally, if one player does well and the other player's doing badly, it's hard for that player doing badly to get the motivation to cheer on the other.
I'm
not saying
agree.
People wouldn't, but it's hard to get yourself in that mindset.
I did feel like it was nice that I went on my own, because I was less distracted with things. I wasn't really like, I obviously like milled around, sort of spoke to some guys from the UK and saw how they're doing and stuff like that, but it wasn't like, oh, I've got to go, see them or whatever. I saw Zach and Jacob, I sort of caught up with them in between rounds and saw how they were. But it was nice to sort of just like put my headphones in, just like relax, listen to some like, Bobby Schmurder or something.
Nice.
Just
get
relax,
you motivated for
the
next round.
But yeah, it's quite. Whereas like I understand like with a massive group of people, like, or even big group of people, or even 2 people, it sort of takes away of that focus. Whereas it's like, oh, I'm doing really badly. It's like, oh, but I'm winning every round. They're just like, oh, and it's all like.
I do think that's a big challenge when you're competitive, is getting over that. Like any jealousy, like you need to have camaraderie. Whoever you're with at that point, you need that team camaraderie.
Like I was really like. James is like getting blood out of stone sometimes, but he was texting me the whole time I was in Athens, bless him. And he was just like, let me know, like, what round are you on? Like, are you winning?
Nice.
And he's like, I'll go outside, get some air, breathe, have some water.
That's
he's doing really good, bless him. So hopefully I can get to Lily with him, so we can actually like whisper sweet nothing in his ear when he's playing and stuff. So.
Awesome. Well, thanks for breaking down kind of the weekend there.
No
there will be a deck list in the description, and it may be on screen somewhere here-ish at this point. It may have popped up earlier in the video as well. Who knows? That will be on screen in a more readable format. But next week, there should be a bit of a different upload on the channel. We're going to be catching up with your vlog of the event. So stay tuned for that one. It may even be a midweek one. It'll be following this video though. Hopefully we'll have some more breakdowns of regional championships and goodness knows what soon. There's 3 RCQs coming up, so there'll at least be 3 RCQ videos following the team kind of along. So it should be a good one. Thank you very much for watching, and shout out as well to Athena for letting us film. It's very rare that this large gaming area is shut off, but because there's work going on in the bathrooms, all the bathrooms are being replaced. We got the chance to quickly dash in here before it opens up for F&M, film the video, and also big shout out to Will Hall, who has been massively helpful with all of the legacy stuff and helped you out in Athens. Will Hall, all round good guy.
Yeah, thanks for chilling me at the airport and waiting for me to get a place to stay. Instead of sleeping in the airport.
Will Hall is the GOAT for UK.
Yeah, he's an amazing guy. He's really fun.
10 out of 10. Would recommend.
10 out of 10 would.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you for watching, and we will see you at the next one.